everybody. How are you? I hope you're all having a good weekend. It is Sunday. Yep, I think it's Sunday here. And I have come on to do a review. Chocola Arts has asked me to review their chalk markers, and I've received 2 different sizes to review for you. They're like a fluid chalk marker. And this is the Mamba Jumbo size, and it's a 15 millimeter chisel tip nib. So these are big. So you can see they're pretty big, very big, big. Oh, so you can see it's a chisel tip nib on that. And yes, I have already primed them and played with them a little bit just to save some time. All right, so these are the 15 millimeter chisel tip. They also sent me the 10 of their chalk pens that are the 5.5 millimeter bullet tip nib. Let's pull out the green so you can see the nib on that. Pretty nice. And Chocola also sent me, do it like this. I don't know, like this. How can you see? Like that? All right. Eiffel Tower. Love it. Okay, they also sent me 6 of their metallic markers, and these have a 4.5 millimeter bullet tip nib on them. See that? Ah. Okay. Quite nice. Very nice. Now, these markers are designed to be used on a non-porous surface, like glass or chalkboards, whiteboards, stuff like that. They're really not designed to be used on paper. Now, I'm a mixed media artist, and we do not follow rules. So I am going to try these out on more than just glass. So also, just in case you use these on a chalkboard painted surface and you cannot get them to erase off, you could simply either just paint over it, or they actually recommend trying to use magic eraser. So if you have a chalkboard painted surface and they won't come off, either paint over it or try the magic eraser. I never heard of that. So that's a really great tip. So I'm going to move these over to the side here. And I'm going to bring over this. This is my glass for when I do for my jelly plate. And then there's just a piece of black cardstock that I put behind it for contrast. I thought you could see the colors better when I'm demonstrating everything. So let's get these bad boys out and see how they work and how they are. So sorry for the glare, but I really liked the black paper behind this because you could really see the colors better. This is the second time I've tried to film this. I live in Indianapolis, and it's race weekend. The Indianapolis 500 is going on. And so there have been fireworks going off, and it's also graduation weekend. So there's fireworks going off. And my dog's been barking like crazy, and my husband's been in and out. So, yeah, quiet house, time to play. All right, so this is red, and it's a 15 millimeter chisel tip. So I'm just going to start making some circles on here. so we can see how they work. Now, the one thing I'm noticing right off the bat that I'm not liking is that it looks like they have leaked. I have opened them up last night, and I have stored them horizontally, as you know, like any other kind of pen or marker. A lot of times they say to store them horizontally. Well, I stored it horizontally, and it looks like it's leaked, which, okay, that's not necessarily a good sign, but let's go with it. We'll roll with it. The yellow. This color I love. This is a baby blue. And, you know, when you first get these, you're going to want to shake them for 30 seconds, and then you prime them just like you would any other paint marker. You know, you just hold the nib down, you know, hold it straight down, and I'll pull it at an angle for you. You just hold that nib down, you know, straight down like that, and just let the paint come down and soak the nib. Same thing with these. The green. Ooh, yeah, we've got leakage. And purple. And yep, they're all leaking a little bit here. I wonder why. Neon orange. Boy, that's a neon orange. I will say this, they do, the chalk ink flows very nicely out of these. And the colors are very, very vibrant. They're very bright. That's why I wanted to make sure that I had the black cardstock underneath here so that you could see just how vibrant they are. And then the last one here is white. And it looks like all of them have leaked. But, you know, like I said, I put them down, you know, I stored them horizontally. I didn't keep them upside down or anything like that. So I'm going to put these back in their containers. We're going to let these dry a little bit. We're going to move on to the next ones. Moving on, I do like these. You know, if you are a store owner, restaurant owner, that has like a menu board of some sort, these would be awesome. They are bright, bright, bright. Nobody will miss what you're trying to, what's on your menu if you're using these. And if you're a school teacher and you're using these on the whiteboard, you know, because most schools anymore don't have really chalkboards. They have whiteboards. There's probably a couple of older schools. I know my son's student taught in a very, very old building during his, like I said, during his student teaching a couple of years ago. And they actually had the old slate chalkboards. Those are a thing in the past, but boy, who remembers all the chalk dust? And yeah, it brings back memories. I'm old. I remember all that stuff. All right, now I'm going to bring these out. And my phone is like blowing up. I'm glad I have it on mute, because all my coworkers are all at the race right now. So yeah, they're having a blast, and they're sending me pictures of the Indy 500 because it's blacked out here in Indianapolis, so we don't get to ever really see it, except last year because it was the 100 of the 500. Okay, anyway, this one here is this is the 5.5 bullet tip. So I'm just going to do the same color underneath, only smaller. And again, the color flows out of this really nice. And as I said, these are really vibrant colors. These are really, really bright. And I hope the camera is doing them justice. The blue. This is a really beautiful green. Purple. And they really come with a really great assortment of colors, which I think is really important because sometimes, you know, when you're running a special of some sort, you know, you want that special to be highlighted, or if you put an assignment on the board, you want that assignment to be highlighted, like, hey, your finals due at such, you know, such and such a day at such and such a time. And here's the white. And with this size, they gave you 2 extra colors. They gave me brown, which I like. I like that a lot. And they gave me black, which I like that as well. Okay, so those are the 5.5. And we're going to let these dry because I want to see how they look when they dry. And I want to see how well they come off because that's important. And the next one we're going to put up on here are the metallics. I love metallics. So let's pull these out of here. And we have got, I'm going to, you know, I just realized y'all are out awfully far. I'm going to bring you in a little bit. Is that better? I hope it's better. Bring that down just a little bit and over. There. Okay, these are the metallics. This is the silver. And again, it's a nice, it seems to coat very nicely, and it's nice and metallic. The silver. This is the gold. This looks like a red, but it almost kind of comes out looking pink. But that's your red. This is supposed to be pink, but it's coming out kind of, well, yeah, it's a purpley pink. This is more of a, like a pink, like a light pink, and this is more of a purpley pink. I like that. I like that very much. This is green. Oh, I like that green. And the last one here is a blue. And I love this blue. This blue is a beautiful blue color. All right. Put these back. Let these dry. The drying time on these is pretty fast. They're still a little wet, but you know, I was very generous in how much I put down on here. I'm going to try and pick this up and see if you can see the colors there. Excuse the glare of my what I've got on, but I'd rather have the glare and have you be able to see the true colors here. They're really cool. I like them. I think that these would be a great asset to any classroom, business, or mixed media artist. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this aside and let this finish drying. right over here next to me. And I'm going to pull out a piece of black cardstock that I have already treated with clear gesso. So it gives it a little bit of tooth. And we're going to go through and see how these work. I'm going to take you out a little bit. Sorry. But, all right, so let's just put some of this down. It's our red. Now, remember, they said this is not supposed to be used on paper. This is supposed to be used on a non-porous surface because the paper is going to absorb the paint quickly. But that's okay. That's the yellow. We're just going to have a play. Why? Because we can. The blue. Green. Now, I will say so far, with the gessoed surface, it's really not absorbing into the paper too much. It's really laying on top nicely, which is what I was hoping for. Purple. I'm trying to not put it on too heavy so that it dries a little quicker. The orange. There we go. The pink. And the white. All right, so those are on there. We'll let those dry a little bit. I will say that the red looks like it's drying kind of orangey. It's got like an orange color to it, but you know. So far, these are a thumbs up, except for the fact that they leak. But I think if you keep them in their container, and I think I'm going to keep them standing up for the time being instead of laying them down horizontally. Let's try these two on here. See those? They turn out really nice. Now this looks a little bit more red than this, but yet this one's not quite dry yet. But the colors turned out, I think they're fabulous. Like I said, they covered really well. And one of the reasons why I wanted to use a black paper too is that, you know, it's a dark paper. So, you know, like the yellow, you can kind of see some of the black coming through. The pink, you know, that could be because of how much I put down or did not put down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these a quick dry with my heat gun, just to speed up the drying process because I'm impatient. Okay, there we go. So these are pretty dry. I will say is it looks like this is a little bit, this is the 5.5 and this is the 15 tip. This is the chisel tip. This is the bullet point. Now, this does look a little bit more red. This looks like a little bit more orange. But I actually think, for signage purposes, I would rather go with that than this. You could always turn that chisel tip, on its side to get a thinner line. But yeah, these are all nice and dry. Now these are not waterproof. They're water soluble, which means if you hit them with water, they're gonna run. Okay. For instance, here, let me set this over here on it. Over here. This was one that I worked on yesterday. Same exact technique, except the only difference is this is not a gessoed surface. But before I do that, bring these back. What I want to do is on half of these, I want to see if, all right, this is my homemade marble dust. I'm sorry, my homemade clear gesso made with marble dust. And what I want to do is I want to see if I can get some of this on there without it running. And then we're going to try something else as well. Like I said, I don't want to go heavy-handed on this. Okay, that's on the metallics. All right. And very lightly, let's do half of these with this. They don't appear to be running. I'm able to get a coat of the clear gesso over them without them. Well, see, this one's starting to move a little bit because I played with it a little too much. But we're going to let that dry. Put that back there. My lid. I'm making a mess. Put that away. And the other thing I want to do is when you're using chalk pastels or oil pastels or watercolors, after you've used them, you want to sometimes spray a fixative over the top of them, so that way you can layer on top. It's kind of a way of making it, whatever you've put down, permanent, I guess, in easiest terms. So what I'm going to do on these colors here, I'm going to spray Spectrafix, which is a pastel fixative, and I want to see if that will serve its purpose, and kind of let those make them permanent so they don't, if we put water on it or another medium on it, they won't run. All right, this is the one I did last night, and just to show you how water soluble they are, grab my water brush here. Not a water brush, I'm sorry, it's just a Cruddy paintbrush. Let's do the purple. And mind you, these have been sitting overnight, so they're really good and dry. They're good and good, very dry. So, and also, before I spray it, I want you to see, I don't know if you can see the texture on that or not, where it actually started to ball up the paper a little bit. You see that? I think you can see that. It balled it up a little bit, which, like I said, sometimes I don't mind. Sometimes that's actually what we're going for. And sometimes not. But let's see how they move. Yep, I can move. I can move that all day. Yep, look at that. See, it's moving. It moved right away. Let me clean my brush. So that's after sitting overnight. Now, the next thing I want to see, how they move. Dry, 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 dry. Well, you know, that kind of looks kind of cool, actually. All right, I digress. Let's try the blue, metallic. And I'm getting a little bit of movement. Yep, it's on my brush, so yep. And I can see the mica in that. You can see it around here starting to move a little bit. The color's staying pretty well, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily color fast. See if you can see the coming off on my brush. That back in there. So, having said that, and we've seen that even when dry, that they're movable with water, let's check out our glass board. My gosh, that race must be really interesting because my phone has not stopped vibrating since since I went on the since I started filming. I'm gonna stick these back up here in their boxes where they belong in their little homes. I'd like to thank Chocola for asking me to do this. When there's a product out there that works really well, and for me that is versatile and that you can use it for more than one thing, I'm more than happy to put it on my channel and show it and demonstrate it, because that's as a mixed media artist, the more things that we can use for multiple things, that's really cool. Okay, these are dry. This one's still a little damp, just a tad. I'm going to take my heat gun to these. I know you would not normally take a heat gun to these like on a chalkboard, whiteboard, or your other board, but for the purposes of being able to test them to see how well they are able to be removed, I'm going to go ahead and just take my handy dandy heat gun to it and help the drying process along a little bit. Alrighty. These are dry. They covered wonderfully. The red, I don't know if I put enough down. That could be my fault. That could be user error. But the rest of them, even the white, really came through nice. It really covers nicely. That's why I wanted the black underneath it, because it really helps you to see the color. So I would rather put up with the glare so that I could give you a really good look at the color of these. They really turned out nice. Now, here's a test that's going to be important for, a business or a school teacher. So how well these come off. All right, the first one I'm going to do are the metallics down here. And I've got my Windex because they suggested, actually, this is like off-brand. Who buys the real brand stuff anymore? So I have a little Windex on here, and I'm just going to see how well that takes that off. And look at that. It comes up just like magic. A little bit of butter comes up nicely. I'm going to move this around a little bit. What I really want to see is how that black is going to come up. So again, I'm going to spray a little Windex on my towel because I don't want to spray Windex all over this. Oh yeah. That came up nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. And to be quick and easy, my favorite thing, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this all off. My handy dandy trusty baby wipes. Yeah, so you know what? Scrapping Life Away is going to give Chocola Fluid Chalk Markers a big fat thumbs up. The only drawback was that I noticed the jumbo ones do leak. So I'm going to keep them vertical instead of horizontal. And it could be that I just got too much paint down in that nib when I first primed them. So maybe that was user error as well. And there you go. Look at how well that cleaned up. Nice and clean. I wanted to do some more playing because this is mixed media after all, right? Right, right. Better say right, because I'm right. I'm throwing stuff everywhere. Okay, what I wanted to do, first of all, a couple of things. I set up a stencil that I have from DecoArt. I want black. I just want to see how well these work with a stencil. And this is, you know, the famous hand pointing. So can we use these with our stencils? Let's see. I set this up last night. I almost forgot all about it. Now, yes, the paper is balling up a little bit because it's not treated. It's just plain old white cardstock. So we'll see if this is a go or a fail. We'll find out shortly. All right, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. All right, so there's that, and we're going to let that dry. The next thing I wanted to do, I'm so excited about this. I want my blue. Actually, I can use my big blue. No, I'm just going to save the little ones. Because this is the size that that fits nicely in my hands. This is the treated. You know, I turn this over because it's treated on both sides. So let's have a little fun, shall we? This is the blue. And I'm using one of my favorite stencils, as you can tell. It's very well loved. Oh my gosh, people are revving their engines outside. Really, people? We are not down at the racetrack. Seriously? I hope you cannot hear that. It just drives me crazy. That's what happens when it's race weekend here in Indianapolis. Everybody thinks they're a damn IndyCar driver. You're not, people. You're an IndyCar driver. You'd be down on the racetrack. I'm driving up and down my neighborhood. All right. So there's that. Because there was something else really neat I want to show you. Dry this up. Okay. Now, I need my metallic markers. This is just plain blue. I need my whites. I need my white and my metallic. And I want the blue. And I want a stamp. Now, remember something. When you're using stamps and you're putting something on it other than ink, like stamping ink, you want to make sure you clean your stamps right away after you've used a different medium on them, because you will ruin your stamps. Okay? So, word to the wise. You paid money for these. Don't ruin them. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my blue metallic stamp. I'm going to bring you in a little bit because this is cool. Right? And I'm going to just color this up right here. I'm going to stamp it in my circle. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going somewhere with this. See, this is what I talked about. Mixed media artists like layers. That's all it is. A lot of you people have been doing this for ages and didn't realize you were layering. Well, guess what? That's basically what mixed media is. It's a layering of different things. The layering of paint, layering of chalk ink, chalk markers, which, by the way, I really love these. Right now, I'm done with the blue, the metallic blue. I'm going to clean my stamp. Get that blue off of there. Because I'm going to bring another color in. I don't want to contaminate my nib. I'm going to bring my white in. Yes, I'm going to put the white right on top. Sorry to be so quiet, but I get on the roll doing something. I get a little quiet. Nobody would ever believe that I'm quiet about anything, but I can't be. Okay. Clean that off. There we go. It's ready for the next go around. And then, I think I want to kind of edge this in crazy purple. And you notice I'm just doing squiggly lines. I'm not going to do perfect. I don't want it perfect. And maybe I want some red around that. I'm playing. I know what I'm doing. Because we are in the month of May, right? Yeah. What does May bring? April showers bring May flowers. Let's use the green metallic. Now, this is on treated cardstock with clear gesso. It is not balling up on me. Okay? So I'm able to use these chalk markers on my cardstock that's been treated with clear gesso. I need to do inside my flowers. I need some yellow dots because I want to. There we go, folks. Here's my Mayflowers on cardstock using chalk markers that are supposed to be used on non-porous places. And look, if you throw down some clear gesso, Look at that. You can use it. So it's multi-purpose, people. You can use it for many things. I'm going to give this a quick heat set. Okay. Here you go. Right now. Remember this? I'm going to bring you out a little bit. Just a tad. Okay, these we put some mediums on there to see how well we could make them permanent. And if I remember correctly, I think from here over, I should have marked it. From here over and on these, we use the clear gesso, and over here we use the Spectrafix. So I'm just going to put some water on my mat over here. Might be out of sight, but there's a little bit of water there. Let's see how it did, because this is all dry. It's not moving. So it did its job. All right, so let's see how it did with the Spectrafix on it. Some water on my brush. Ah, not so good. All right, so the Spectrafix did not keep it permanent. See, look at that move. All right, so note to self, the Spectrafix does not keep that permanent. Let's see how it does. I contaminated my water on the side. See how it does with the metallics. Yeah, my metallics aren't moving. Okay, so clear gesso will, if you put it on quickly, will keep these permanent. But the Spectrafix did not work on that. Very, very interesting. Clean this up. Very interesting. How do you like those flowers? I love it. I love it. Oh, we need to try this. We need to pull this off. I kind of taped it on so it wouldn't move. There it is. It bled through the lines a little bit, but that's okay. I was pretty heavy-handed with it too. But there you go. So yes, you can use it with your stencils. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I will have links down below this way, to where you can purchase these. And the folks over at Chocola have been kind enough to offer you, my viewers, a coupon code, which is also listed below, for a 15% discount on all Chocola products. So that is awesome. So I'm so glad that you stopped by, but please be sure to like, subscribe, and if you want notifications of when I go live or when I put a video up, just click the little bell down below there, and that'll notify you when I put out another video. And thanks so much, and have a great day, and have a great day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.